Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is now week 16 in the NFL, so we're back with my weekly NFL predictions. If you enjoy the content, make sure you do like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. With that being said, let's get to my week 16 predictions, and as always, we start with the previous week recap. So, Falcons beat the Buccaneers. Yeah, Buccaneers kind of just crap themselves near the end of that game. Bears beat the Browns. Yeah, pretty predictable. Ravens shut out the Bengals, which I was not expecting. I was not expecting the Bengals and Joe Burrow to perform so poorly. Chargers beat the Chiefs, knocking them out of playoff contention. Feel terrible for Patrick Mahomes. Hopefully he can recover and be ready for next season, but I do not feel bad at all about the Kansas City Chiefs not being in the playoffs. Bills beat the Patriots. Really, really good game. Not a good first half for the Bills, but scoring 28 in the second half. Really good for them. Commanders beat the Giants. Yeah, pretty lackluster. Nobody really watched that game, in my opinion. Eagles beat the Raiders. Yeah, shut them out as well. Yeah, Raiders are just the worst team in the NFL. Jaguars beat the Jets. Yeah, pretty predictable. Texans beat the Cardinals. Also predictable. Broncos beat the Packers. I expected Bo Nix to struggle a little bit more against this Packers team, but he really didn't. Bo Nix was playing extremely good football. I love what I was seeing from their offense. So good for the Broncos. Packers lose Micah for the year. Really unfortunate. Genuinely, I feel for him, and hopefully he can recover for next season. Rams beat the Lions. Yeah, Rams kind of just dominated. Some people were saying this was a comeback, but when I was watching, I don't know. I feel like the Rams were pretty much in control most of the game. Stafford threw an interception pretty early on, but I feel like the Rams had this game in the bag pretty much the whole time. Saints beat the Panthers. Yeah, Panthers just... Anytime I put any money on the Panthers, which I don't bet, but when I predict the Panthers to win, they just shit themselves every single time. 49ers beat the Titans. Yeah, pretty predictable. Seahawks beat the Colts. Yeah, that was not a good showing by my Seahawks, but hey, dub's a dub, so we'll take it against Philip Old Man Rivers. Vikings beat the Cowboys. Yeah, Cowboys playoff chances are slim to none at this point, so yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. Steelers beat the Dolphins as well, and yeah, Dolphins are eliminated from playoff contention now as well. So we are 9-7 off of last week's predictions. Overall, after week 15, I'm 131, 93-1. My prediction percentage is a little bit over 50%, 58.44%. It's been a hard year, man. Some of these games have just been going either way, and unfortunately, I've been on the losing end of some of these predictions. Now we are over to my weekly top 5 rankings heading into week 16. Number 5, I got to give them a respect, is the Niners. Niners are just playing extremely good football. Their defense is really good, even without their 2 best players. So Niners are playing good football. You got to respect it. Purdy's playing mistake-free. We'll see if they can continue that this week. Number 4, I still have my Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are still good. Our offense just needs to get their shit together. So hopefully we can do that this week. Defense is still elite. I think the defense can contend with anybody, but I think the offense is a struggle bus. Number 3, I did have to drop them a little bit. I do have the Patriots. Patriots are still good, and I still expect them to be good against any team except the Bills. I think the Bills are just... I think the Bills are starting to figure this team out, and I think if the Patriots make it to the Super Bowl, I think they will lose to one of these NFC teams just because it looks like the NFC is very, very dominant. And with that, I do have the Rams at the number 1 seed. It's kind of crazy seeing my top 5 ranking the 3 NFC West teams. So, well, Rams are playing extremely good football. As long as Stafford's not making mistakes and Kyron Williams is producing, I think this team is going to be really, really hard to stop. So offense is good, defense is good. Rams are dominant right now. And the number 1 team have been for a while for me is the Denver Broncos. I think the Broncos are just playing extremely good football. They have peaked at the right time. I think their defense has regressed a tiny bit, but I think they were playing extremely good football early in the year. And now I think it's kind of regressed just a tiny bit, but I still think the Broncos are the best team. And heading into my Week 16 playoff picture, it is the LA Rams clinching a playoff berth. That's what the X means next to the LA Rams, but they're still the 1 seed. 2 seed is now the Bears after the Packers lost. Number 3 seed is the Philadelphia Eagles. 4 seed is still Tampa Bay, even though Tampa Bay lost and the Panthers lost as well. So yeah, it's a toss-up between those 2 teams for that 4 seed. 5 seed is still the Seattle Seahawks. 6 seed is still the San Francisco 49ers. And the 7 seed is the Green Bay Packers. In the hunt is Detroit, Carolina, and Dallas. Dallas should be eliminated this week if Philly can get a dub. And yeah, Tampa and Carolina are battling for that spot. And unfortunately, it's just between the Packers and the Lions for that 7 seed right now. And for the AFC playoff picture after heading into week 16, the number 1 seed is the Denver Broncos. They have clinched a playoff spot. Number 2 seed is the New England Patriots. They dropped after losing this last week to Buffalo. Number 3 seed is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I expect them to continue to be that 3 seed. Jacksonville is playing really good football, and I really like what I'm seeing from Jacksonville. 4 seed is the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is between them and the Baltimore Ravens for that 4 seed spot. We'll see how that plays out throughout the last 3 weeks of the season. Number 5 seed is the LA Chargers. 6 seed is the Buffalo Bills, and the 7 seed is the Houston Texans. I'll be honest, this is exactly how I predict the playoffs to shape out. Maybe the Chargers and the Bills might swap spots, or maybe the Chargers, Bills, and Houston will all kind of swap spots, but pretty much everything else is set in stone in my eyes, so we will just see how it plays out. In the hunt still is the Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens, and that leads us into the Thursday night football game. It is the LA Rams at my Seattle Seahawks, the battle of the 11-3 teams. It is going to be a doozy. So for the Rams, Kyron Williams needs a big day. If their run game struggles, I expect this team to struggle a little bit. This team needs to get a lead and hold this lead if they want to beat this Seattle Seahawks team. Their secondary won them the game last time. They had, I can't remember, was it 3 or 4 interceptions? It was a lot. It was a lot of interceptions. And their secondary were ball hawks. They knew exactly where Sam was going to throw it before Sam knew where he wanted to throw it. They need that recipe for this to be a successful game for them again. So we will see what this defense has going into this second meeting with Seattle. As for my Seahawks, the offense has regressed tremendously. The offense the last 3 weeks has looked bad, and I just do not like what I'm seeing from this offense. They need to go back to the drawing board, and they need to get their shit together. So that is the only hiccup I have with this team is the offense. The defensive line has to generate more pressure. They need to get Sam Darnold on the ground. Last week against Phillip Rivers, granted, I think the Colts offensive line is good, but you have to get to the quarterback, and we have a really good defense, especially a really good defensive line. They need to get to the quarterback. They need to get Stafford on the ground and generate pressure. If the run game is not there, we will lose this game. So if Kenneth Walker or Zach Charbonnet, if one of them doesn't go for 70 plus yards, I think that we will lose this game. And unfortunately, I do have the Rams beating us. Rams sweeping us in this division. I got the Rams 24, Seahawks 17. I'll be honest, I just don't expect the Seahawks to win this because I've just not been impressed with our offense as of late. Heading into the weekend, we have our first Saturday game of the season. It's our Saturday midday game. It's the Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Commanders. For the Eagles, it was a complete team win last week. I like what I saw from the defense and the offense. Hopefully, we can get that every single week for this team. I think Hurts has to continue to be better. If he's throwing multiple interceptions, this team is just not going to be good. And they even if they get into the playoffs, which they will get into the playoffs in my opinion, I just don't think the Cowboys are going to catch them. Still, I think this team is going to struggle in the playoffs if Hurts is not playing well. Saquon has to be a factor going forward. I like what I saw from him last week and the week before that, but Saquon needs to be a factor for this team to be good. Commanders, Mariota, he has to tuck the damn ball. He has the exact same problem that he did when he was in college. He just cannot hold on to the football. If you hit him, if you do anything remotely like to get to him, he will start to fumble the ball, and I expect that to happen. I got the Eagles in this one. I got the Eagles 27, Commanders 24. The reason I have this being close is because it is a divisional game, but the Eagles just have not impressed me, so we will see how this one goes. And over to our Saturday night game, it is the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. Unfortunately, Micah Parsons is out for the year. The ACL tear will keep him out and probably a little bit into next year. And it's just a really unfortunate injury, especially for somebody as explosive on defense as Micah is. So just really, really unfortunate injury. Prayers up to him. Hopefully he can come back sooner rather than later. Jordan Love has to take care of the football, though. Jordan Love he's kind of an enigma. I don't know if he's good or bad, but there's certain times where I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, like when they played Detroit. And there's certain times like last week where I was just so unimpressed with what I was seeing from Jordan Love. So Jordan Love, please take care of the football. They need to lean on Josh Jacobs more. I like what I saw from him last week against Denver, and Denver's defense is really good. You need to continue to have that success with Josh Jacobs. As for the Chicago Bears, the O-line has to be better this time around, and I think it will be. Unfortunately, without Micah Parsons with this Green Bay Packers team, I expect Caleb to have a little bit more time, slightly more time. So I expect this offensive line to be better this time around. I love what I'm seeing from DeAndre Swift. Lean on him, especially without Micah Parsons for this Packers team. I'm going to harp on it multiple times because Micah Parsons is that dynamic of a player for this Packers team. Without him, I expect to see DeAndre Swift to have significantly more carries than he did last time. And I think this defense has to be better this time around. They have to get to Jordan Love, generate pressure, get Jordan Love off his spot, and I think this team can get this dub. I got the Bears 28, Packers 27. This one for sure could go either way, but I think the Bears have the advantage because the Packers do not have Micah Parsons now. Heading over to our early window games on Sunday, we have the Buffalo Bills at the Cleveland Browns. So for the Bills, Josh Allen and James Cook were sensational last week. I love what I saw from them. They carried this team and they willed them to victory last week. I love what I saw. I want to see that every single week. I think this defense has to generate pressure. That is kind of the focal point of this video. So many of these defenses are good. They just need to get to the quarterback more, and this Buffalo Bills team is one of those teams. You need to generate pressure, get to the quarterback, get them off their spot, and you will have a great recipe for success. The linebackers have to be factors. You cannot let, just like last week, we're letting the Patriots running backs just do whatever they wanted. You have to be better, and that starts with your linebackers. As for the Browns, I think it's time to clean house. I'm not sure if Shador's the guy. 1 week against the Titans, he looks good, which it's the Titans, and the week after, he just looks awful like he did last week. So I'm not sure if he's the guy, but everything else, all the coaching staff, I would clean house, just get draft picks and see what you can do to get this team back on track to a certain degree, but I don't expect that to happen. I got the Bills for sure. I got the Bills 31, Browns 13. I do not think the Browns have a single prayer in this game. Heading over to our next game is the LA Chargers at the Dallas Cowboys. So for the Chargers, do not give up on the run game. You have Vidal. I can't remember who the other running back is that kind of went off last week, but do not give up on the run game. The run game is the recipe for success for this Chargers team. Make sure you are continuing to run the ball. The offensive line needs to hold up just a tiny bit more. Make sure Justin Herbert is not getting hit, and I think this team can make the playoffs, and I think Justin Herbert will this team to the playoffs, so I'm hoping it can happen. I like this Chargers team. They just had a very unfortunate injury luck this year, so hopefully we can continue to see them be good in this league. As for the Cowboys, 0 TD passes for Dak last week, and that is not good. Dak has been playing very well this season, and just unfortunately, he can't carry this team 100%, but 0 TD passes for Dak last week is not a recipe for success for this team. On paper, their offense is electric. When you look at their stats, it kind of blows you away. CD, George Pickens, Javonte Williams, they are good players, so it doesn't make sense for this team to not score more. But yeah, I think it is likely that this is the last week we talk about the Cowboys. They will just be mathematically eliminated from the playoffs because they will not make a wild card spot, and I think the Eagles will win this week. So I do have the Chargers. This one could go either way as well. Cowboys are playing good football to a certain degree. I think their defense is just not great, but I got the Chargers 34, Cowboys 31. Our next game is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. For the first time in me making these prediction videos, the Kansas City Chiefs have been eliminated from the playoffs, which is crazy. They're eliminated from playoff contention. Mahomes is done for the year with that ACL tear. Very unfortunate. Prayers up to him. Hopefully he can come back as soon as possible next season. But yeah, this team is donezo. And unfortunately, or fortunately, we are done talking about the Chiefs for the season. As for the Titans, as of right now, they do have the number 1 overall draft pick. I'll be honest, I would tank at this point. Get something. Get whoever the best player in this draft is. Not quarterback wise. I don't think Cam Ward is bad, and I think this team should build around Cam Ward, but I would, as soon as possible, get him a really good offensive coach. So hopefully we can see that. I still have the Chiefs in this one. I expect Gardner Minshew to do something. So I got the Chiefs 24, Titans 23. This one could go either way, and honestly, I'm not trying to sound rude, but who gives a shit? The next game is the Cincinnati Bengals at the Miami Dolphins. So for the Bengals, they are officially eliminated from playoff contention. So that means I would fire everybody. This team has missed the playoffs the last 3 years. I know Joe Burrow has been injured, but I don't really think that's an excuse for how awful this defense has been playing. the last 3 years, genuinely, and I just do not expect this team to be good. So, unfortunately, I would just fire everybody and revamp this team 100%. And for the Dolphins, they are also eliminated from the playoffs. So, with that loss against the Steelers last week, and unfortunately, or fortunately, we are done talking about the Dolphins for this season. I got the Dolphins in this one. Dolphins 28, Bengals 24. Just the Bengals offense has not impressed me the last few weeks. So this one could go either way, but right now I'm leading Miami because it's at Miami, and Miami plays really good at home just because Tua does not play well in the cold. Our next game is the New York Jets at the New Orleans Saints. So for the Jets, let's get ready for next year. This shit's over. It's over. I don't see a single prayer for this team right now. Jets team. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful, and it just looks bad. As for the Saints, this team is not close. I think Tyler Shook is not bad. I think he can probably be somebody that you build around, but I just don't think this team is close. I don't think you have a lot of great pieces. I think Chris Olave is probably your best offensive player, but I just don't have a single prayer for this team. I do have the Saints winning this one. Saints 24, Jets 20. But yeah, this one's kind of a crapshoot. I probably won't be watching this game. Next game is the Minnesota Vikings at the New York Giants. A lot of just lackluster games this week. So for the Vikings, JJ finally played a decent game last week. I like what I saw from JJ. Hopefully he can continue to perform that well. I think the run game was a non-factor last week, though. Aaron Jones is too good to have that few of carries for that fewage of yardage. So hopefully they can get their shit together, and this is likely the last week we do talk about the Vikings, and yeah, it is probably more than likely the last week we talk about the Vikings. So for the Giants, I said it last week, but you need to protect Jackson Dart from himself. He is running the ball too much, and every single time he's running the ball, he does not slide, he does not go down, he is just trying to get every single inch, and defenders are starting to try to hit him a lot. So I got the Vikings in this one. I got the Vikings 30, Giants 17. I don't think the Giants have a prayer in this one. Our next game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. So for the Buccaneers, all of their weapons are back. Why are they bad? I do not understand how this team is struggling to score points. Mike Evans came back last week, and he looked amazing. So I don't understand how this team is this bad offensively. I think they need to slow down and control the clock. That is, honestly, they are good when they have the ball in their hands. So just slow it down, run the ball a little bit more. But even if you're not, just continue to have the offense that you have, but just slow everything down. And I think this team will be a lot better. I think this defense is so mid, though. I just have not been impressed, and it's kind of crazy because Todd Bowles is a defensive-minded head coach, so I do not understand why this defense is so mid. As for the Panthers, I cannot bet on this team. This team is just so hot and cold, and Bryce Young is the definition of hot and cold. He is just not playing good football at certain times, but then like against the Rams, he looked sensational. So I don't know what this team is, and I don't know which of these teams I want to make the playoffs, honestly. The offense is just so unpredictable. I do not like what I'm seeing from either of these teams right now, but I think the Buccaneers are the better team. So I got the Buccaneers 28, Panthers 27. This one could go either way, but right now, I really don't know. So my eyes will be glued to this game for sure. Heading into the late window of games on Sunday, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Denver Broncos. Finally, some good games. This is going to be awesome. So for the Jaguars, it's their first real test since they revamped their offense. I'm excited to see this team go against a really good defense just to see what they can do. If they can get mistake-free Trevor Lawrence against a really good defense, I will be a lot more optimistic about this team come playoffs. As for the Broncos, it's technically their last 4 games because they played Green Bay last week, but these last games will battle test this team to see what they can do come playoff time. So I think this Broncos team really needs that number 1 overall seed so they can rest a little bit. So hopefully we can see that for this team. They just have to win 2 of their last 3 games. So hopefully we can see that. I think this defense needs to get back to being the best. They are letting up more points than I would like for this team. So hopefully we can continue to see their defense get back on track. And I think if they get mistake-free Bo Nix every single week, this team is damn near impossible to beat. I got the Broncos for sure. I think Jaguars are still good, but I think the Broncos are kind of on another level right now. I got the Broncos 27, Jaguars 23. Our next game is the Atlanta Falcons at the Arizona Cardinals. So for the Falcons, please keep winning. I just need the draft pick that you are giving the Rams to be worse. Yeah, I don't understand the trade that you guys made with LA, but it is what it is at this point. As for the Cardinals, Cancun on 3. I don't think there is a single prayer for the Arizona Cardinals. There's not a single thing on their team that I like right now. So I got the Falcons. Falcons 31, Cardinals 27. It is what it is, honestly. Our next game is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Detroit Lions. So for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they need a win to stay a game ahead of the Ravens. I don't know what to make of the Steelers team. There's certain times where they look really good. There's certain times where they just don't look good at all. So I'm not sure which version we're going to get against this Lions team, but I think they have a chance. I really do. I think they do have a chance to continue to win games and take a stranglehold on their division. I think they need to keep the offense simple. If Aaron Rodgers is not asked to do too much, if he can just dink and dunk and just get those slant patterns, those post patterns, and get his wide receivers the ball, I think this team can be successful. I think this defense will regress without TJ Watt. So the longer TJ Watt is out, this team will struggle. And it's kind of up in the air if he's going to return for this Week 16 game against the Lions. So we will see about TJ Watt. As for the Lions, they will not make the playoffs if they lose again. So they basically have to win out, and they need some help from other teams. So we will see what this Lions team has left. It's kind of shitty because I like this Lions team, but this is probably the worst version of this Lions team that we've seen the last few weeks, or few years. If they have their run game shut down, if Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery do not go off, this team loses consistently. So Steelers, your defense's job is to shut down this run game. So we will see about that. The defense is injured and just playing really bad. Their secondary is injured. It's just really unfortunate. I think this Lions team has so much potential, but I just don't think that they're going to make the playoffs because I just think all the other teams in the NFC are just really, really good. I got the Lions winning this one, though. I got the Lions 34, Steelers 30. This one could go either way, but I think the Lions just have a little bit more juice offensively. Now we are heading over to the Las Vegas Raiders at the Houston Texans. So for the Raiders, it is insane how bad this team is. There was a lot of people trying to convince me that this Raiders team was going to be a lot better than this, and I just did not see it. Pete Carroll, I'm not saying he's a bad head coach. I loved him when he was in Seattle, and I was really sad to see him go, but there's a certain time where you have to save people from themselves, and when Seattle pushed Pete Carroll out, it was to save him from himself, but he really wanted to coach again, so he goes to Las Vegas because they still think he has something left in the tank. I think his tank is empty, and I don't think this Raiders team is very close right now. So, unfortunately, this Raiders team is bad. As for the Texans, if they get mistake-free CJ Stroud, I think this team cannot be beaten. I think their defense is so good. I think Nico Collins is not talked about enough. I do think he is a top 10 wide receiver. I love what I'm seeing from Nico. He makes such insane catches, and his run after the catch is so good. I love what I see from Nico Collins. Just do not forget about the run game. I think it's kind of a running back by committee at this point for this Texans team. Whoever's going off is who they feed the ball to. So do not forget about the run game. Houston, I for sure have the Houston Texans winning this one. I got the Texans 30, Raiders 3. I do not expect the Raiders to score a lot of points against this Houston Texans defense. Now heading over to Sunday Night Football, it is the New England Patriots at the Baltimore Ravens. So for the Patriots, Drake May finally struggled, and unfortunately, he might have lost MVP with that performance that he had last week. He just was not throwing the ball very well, barely got over 150 yards, just not a good showing from Drake May, which is okay. I still think this team is 1 year early, so I will just take what I can if I'm the Patriots right now. Henderson was sensational last week. The offensive line was being so good for him, and when the offensive line wants to be, they are a top 5 rush blocking team, and I love what I'm seeing when that happens, so I would lean on Henderson so much more, 100%. As for the Ravens, you basically need to win out. You need to win out and pray Detroit can beat Pittsburgh, but because you're a game behind right now, so we will see if that can happen. I'm not really impressed with this Ravens team right now, so we will see what they got this week. Lamar and Derrick Henry need to carry. You guys played decently last week. I need to see it consistently, and I need Lamar to have a full week of practice because I've seen from all the talking heads on all of these shows that Lamar isn't showing up for practice. at least one day a week. So hopefully we can see that, because I want this team to be good. This is literally Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen's year. The Kansas City Chiefs will not even be in the playoffs. It is one of your years. So please, I want to see Lamar in the playoffs. I think this defense is playing a lot better. I love the shutout that we saw last week. Hopefully we can continue to see it. But unfortunately for the Ravens, I got the Patriots in this one. I got the Patriots 27, the Ravens 23. This one, I'm kind of leaning that it could go either way, but I just think the Patriots are a better team right now. And our final game is Monday Night Football. It is the San Francisco 49ers at the Indianapolis Colts. For the 49ers, if you get mistake-free Brock Purdy like you did last week, I think this team is sensational to watch. I love, as an objective football fan, I love what I'm seeing from this 49ers team. They are playing really good football. CMC is looking like vintage CMC this season. I think they are peaking at the right time. This team has been good all year. They are continuing to battle, even despite all of the injuries that they've had. And I think if their defense can just get to the quarterback and generate sacks, I think this team is going to continue to have success, and they will for sure be making the playoffs. As for the Colts, let's be real. Phillip Rivers was not impressive last week. I think the only thing that was impressive is that he did not crumble until the very end. And that's, I think, the only thing that can be that I can say that was impressive about Phillip Rivers. He is literally dinking and dunking when everybody is talking, and all the broadcasts and literally everybody that was talking about this game was only talking about Phillip Rivers. And I hated the commentating when I was watching the Seahawks play the Colts, because they were just praising him so much. They're like, oh wow, he's doing this against this defense. He is literally dinking and dunking the entire game. He is not letting the defense get close to him, because he is just getting the ball out within maybe 2 to 3 seconds, and the defense can't get to him because the offensive line just has to hold up for just a couple of seconds. So it was so frustrating to listen to. But Phillip Rivers, you're fine. It's going to be fine. I think if you continue to do that, I think as long as the Colts defense can show up, I think you have a chance in pretty much every single game, if that's the recipe that you guys want. Jonathan Taylor will have to carry this team in order for you to get wins, which I just don't expect to happen. Not against this really good San Francisco team, especially against a Robert Saleh coached team, defensively coached team. So we'll see. If they lose, they likely will not make the playoffs. So I got the Niners in this one, guys. I got the Niners 28, Colts 20. I think the Colts, unfortunately, will not make the playoffs because, just that injury to Daniel Jones was really unfortunate for them. But, guys, that is my Week 16 NFL predictions. What did you guys think of my picks? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in Week 17.